Hello everyone, this is Farzana Sabah. My thesis was on a comparative study between a traditional library system and the internet. Here are the purpose of my study: identifying the influence of a traditional library on the internet, drawing comparisons between a library and the internet, recommendations for improvement for the librarians, and my final thoughts. Before I go into details, here are some background information. What's a library? A library is a storehouse of knowledge, a place where a collection of literary books, scholarly journals, and publications, research papers, magazines are stored and organized in both physical and digital form. On the other hand, the internet is a network of computers across the world. Contrary to a traditional physical library, the internet is an intangible place where people from all across the globe with a broadband connection can share, store, retrieve information with just a few clicks. Information is stored in text, audio, video, and image form on web pages that are made with machine-readable languages. Now let's talk about influences. The internet was created to act as a more accessible and interactive method of information organization. Like any library system, the internet has its own indexing system for search engines. It uses its own form of categorization, has a massive interconnected database that keeps expanding by the minute, acts as a storage and retrieval unit for information and knowledge, uses keywords for research purposes, has web managers and search engine analysts to keep the system up to date. So in a way, the internet is the modern day predecessor of the traditional library system. It may seem there are many similarities between a traditional library system and the internet, but there are some major dissimilarities as well. Here I have made a comprehensive list of dissimilarities between these two information organization systems. First off, the library follows a very rigid and inflexible indexing system implemented by the library authorities and deployed by the library professionals. The internet, on the other hand, uses indexing on the search engines via AI, where the AI assigns keywords and phrases to the web pages so that the web pages are aligned with the meta tags of the overall website. The most libraries of the world has three basic main organization systems: the Dewey Decimal System, the Library of Congress system, and some libraries also follow the alphabetical order to arrange their books. The internet, on the other hand, has eight unofficial models: the subject model, the object model, the reference model, the location model, language model, and so on, to sort their seemingly endless supply of data. The collection of a library is mostly scholarly and literary publications, journals, research papers, books. This is why the user demographic is also scholars, authors, students, teachers. On the other hand, you can find anything and everything on the internet, from government websites to movies to music to books to e-commerce sites. This is why the user demographic can be anyone and everyone with a broadband connection. Most libraries are free to access. Sometimes you pay with your state tax or tuition fees to access certain libraries, but it's mostly free. The internet is also mostly free. Some websites such as New York Times, the Medium, they keep certain contents behind the paywall. Subscription-based applications such as Netflix, Amazon Prime, you pay a certain amount of money for to get some special benefits, but it's mostly free again. Now let's talk about the validity, reliability, and efficiency of the contents that you find on the internet or at a library. In most cases, whatever you find at a library is reliable because the librarians, they make sure whatever goes on the shelves are published by authorized publications, researchers, documentarians, journalists who know what they're doing. So you can rely 100% on the things that you find at a library. Sometimes it may take a bit time to find whatever you're looking for, but once you do it, you can rely on that. On the internet, on the other hand, whenever you search something on the internet, you get millions of search results just in a fraction of a second. And we don't even go past the first few pages on SERP because we know whatever is in there is not worth it. The main reason of this is the massive accessibility of the internet. Anyone can put up anything they want on the internet without any quality control or validity check. So even though the internet is very time efficient, the content quality is always questionable. Finally, I'm going to talk about the thing that makes any library far more superior to the internet, that is sponsored ad and digital marketing. The libraries, both digital and physical, do not follow users' footsteps and try to sell things. So chances are your local library will never track your data and try to sell you anything. On the other hand, one of the fundamental things about the internet is this, in this modern capitalist world, is that it acts as a marketplace for both smaller and bigger companies around the globe, as well as a place for data storage and retrieval. So the internet knows where you're going, who are you talking to, what your interests are, and it sells the information to the companies, and the companies then try to sell you their products based off that information they have on you. So at least in my opinion, this thing makes any library, smaller or bigger, far more safer place for information retrieval than the internet. Now, I have a few recommendations for the librarians to make their online presence more visible. Even though most libraries nowadays have a digital presence, the library spends millions on updating and maintaining these websites. The library websites are still lacking compared to other websites and search engines out there. The problem is in the lack of technical knowledge of the library professionals. Proper technological training should be provided in order to solve this issue, as well as updating the websites from the basic HTML to more interactive user-friendly interfaces. Implementing SEO components, generating XML robot files, plugging Google Analytics, updating meta tags, optimizing on-site contents will increase the website's discoverability on search engines such as Google for general search terms. The internet is an ever-changing, vastly developing space. Proper and regular maintenance should be ensured for all these changes to create a positive impact. Now, before I draw a conclusion to this presentation, I would like to discuss something that has been talked quite a lot these days, which is, are libraries losing their appeal and usefulness? Is internet replacing libraries? There's a simple answer to this question. No, internet is a good for quick queries, some trivia knowledge, but to get in-depth knowledge on any subject, we need to go to the libraries, where we will find curated resources by experts and specialists. Finally, no matter how superior the internet gets, there will always be a need for libraries and librarians as a safe house for authentic knowledge and information, where history will be preserved for generations to come. That was it. Thank you everyone for listening, and please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.